Today's top stories at NBR. Big Brother is watching. Vegetable growers sacrificing one crop to harvest another. Kiwi Wealth sale being looked at, and there's more coming right up. Kia ora and welcome to NBR Today, 100% subscriber funded and proudly brought to you by you, as is every story at nbr.co.nz. It's Tuesday, March 8th. I'm Paul Brennan. Thanks again for joining us. Some retail challengers to the supermarket duopoly are not satisfied with the recommendations of the Commerce Commission's final report on competition in the grocery sector announced today, Monday. While the Commission's final report drew a positive reaction from the Food and Grocery Council, which represents supermarket suppliers, its CEO, Catherine Rich, told NBR she was also supportive of the Minister's warning that results need to be seen or there could be more drastic action. She joined the NBR's Will Mace.
What the Commission's presented today, I don't think a lot of people really understand, but the grocery sector regulator will most likely have very wide powers to monitor, to ask for information. They'll also report publicly, regularly, which continues to shine the spotlight on the issues we've been raising.
Food and Grocery Council CEO Catherine Rich with Will Mace there. The discovery that somebody who bought shares in an NZX-listed company, played golf with a family member of that company's chief executive, saw an insider trading allegation referred to the Financial Markets Authority, NZ Regco's head of surveillance says. Meanwhile, the FMA is also reviewing alleged instances of market manipulation by one trader in 6 different NZX-listed companies. These and extensive details of how the NZX's regulatory arm conducts its market surveillance were heard in a New Zealand Shareholders Association briefing dubbed Big Brother is Watching, held this afternoon, Tuesday afternoon. NZ Regco Head of Surveillance Phil Solars's presentation included multiple slides showing the technology in use and described how it can easily access the volume, total consideration and brokers and clients involved in every trade that happens. A former director of failed finance company FE Investments has had his bankruptcy annulled by the High Court after agreeing a deal with creditors. Tat Keong Shim was bankrupted in February last year on the application of creditor Dancing on Moonlight Limited, a company owned by businessman and harness racing identity Robert Famularo. The judge accepted Shim's grounds for annulment, saying his creditors either agreed with his repayment proposals or at least did not object. Other creditors included ASB Bank, owed $2 million on mortgages guaranteed by Shim, and ANZ and Westpac both owed about $25,000 for unsecured credit card debt. Some vegetable growers are having to sacrifice one crop to harvest another, harvest less across multiple crops, or cut back on both harvesting and planting. Acute labour shortages combined with logistic challenges and other mounting pressures, including high fertiliser ingredient prices, are expected to cause high domestic produce prices even as they squeeze profits for growers for at least a year, industry insiders say. As the COVID variant Omicron knocks out workers in an already depleted labour pool, costs have been rising across the industry. Contract labour costs have risen sharply due to competition. One Northland Kumara grower told Vegetables NZ's Anthony Hayward that the hourly rate for contractors had risen from $22 to $24 to about $30. Labour had gone from 40% to almost 70% of costs. Kiwi Group Holdings has confirmed that it's looking at selling fund manager Kiwi Wealth, as has been widely reported since January. Goldman Sachs is advising on the potential sale of the business. Kiwi Wealth, formerly Gareth Morgan Investments, was in 2012 acquired by Kiwi Group, which is 53% owned by New Zealand Post, 25% by the New Zealand Superannuation Fund and 22% by ACC. Kiwi Group last November offloaded its life insurance business to the New Zealand subsidiary of ASX-listed NIB in a $45 million deal, and last month it emerged the government was undertaking a review of the ownership of the group's bank, Kiwi Bank. Today, Tuesday, Kiwi Group Chair Dame Paula Rebstock confirmed it was also exploring options for Kiwi Wealth, including its potential sale. The full details of those stories and more are at nbr.co.nz right now. Tomorrow at NBR, in her weekly column, Bridget Morton argues the case against knee-jerk reaction to the Wellington protest, while Dita DeBoni looks at the curious case of Kiwi billionaire Christopher Chandler. And watch out for the working group's report on Three Waters reform. I'm Paul Brennan. Join me again from around lunchtime tomorrow for the morning's NBR trending stories. Then again right here from 5:30 for another NBR Today.